Now, let me give you the blueprint. This is literally what it usually looks like. Now, if you one of the guys that's being coached by me, and this is you, don't say nothing in the chat because we don't want to uncover you, and we don't want your chick to feel a certain type of way when you're supposed to be leaving her. But this is the blueprint. I coach them. I get them. They doing okay. They figuring it out. They've already come to the conclusion that they need to level up, and so they seeking mentorship. Cool. I got you. We go through the process. They level up. They pay off their debt. They get a different job. They revamp what it is that they're supposed to do. They push themselves. They read the books that they're supposed to read. We meet up. We link up. They continue to change their entire look, their profile. They do what they're supposed to do, right? Now they making more than double of what they was making. They came in making $110,000 a year. Now they making $250,000 a year. Now they making $300,000 a year. They went through a little bit of bump, but we coached them through it. And now they really get into the fucking money. But instead of spending the money in order to increase their lifestyle, what they've done is they've reinvested back into themselves. So they now getting more educated. They've paid off all of their debt. They don't have any more student loans. They don't have no car notes, no credit card debt. And now they have a positive net worth. Now you've accelerated your life and you started saving. So 2 to 3 years later, now you got $50,000 in the bank, $60,000 in the bank. You started a business. You know how to maneuver when it comes to limiting the amount of money that you got to pay over in taxes. You got more assets. You liquid. You're thinking about getting in different businesses. You're trying to contemplate that. And it's one fucking thing that is preventing you from really taking the fuck off. And guess what it is? It is the person that you contemplating marrying, because that person is putting a requirement on your life because she's been sitting listening to some female coach that says, put a requirement on that nigga and tell him you don't ever want to be a forever fiance. He got to marry you by this time. And I know that they saying it because this is the literal word for word, verbatim thing that these women are telling these men, and they listening to a completely different source. You listening to me, she listening to her, and what you think is going to happen? It's going to be a clash. And then meanwhile, you starting to get influence in between our coaching calls because you lose your masculinity. And so now you're looking at different comments or different videos, and the women is saying different things, and it's starting to get to you. So now you'll see a woman that says, hey, we need to put away all of this infighting and all of this gender war stuff because men should be loving women and women should be loving men. And so you falling for the okie doke, the same okie doke that they ran on your father, the same okie doke that they ran on your uncle, the same okie doke that they've been running on all of the men that came before you. You one step away from making the worst decision of your life. You've won in everything. You've overcome everything that ever happened in your life. You let her put a toothbrush in your place and now she fucking live with you. Now she wants to help you make decisions on what's going on in your life as though you have not been making great decisions your entire life and the entire time that you've been on this earth. Now she want to have some say-so on what's going on in your life, and you one step away. And I'm pleading with you niggas. I'm on the phone and on Zoom calls, sitting there trying not to offend you niggas, but at the same time, pleading with you niggas because I can give you all of the game and all of the insight. I be hard as hell on making sure that I hold you guys accountable when it comes to your career, when it comes to your decisions, when it comes to doing the right thing. But now I got to tiptoe around you sensitive niggas because it's a woman in your life that's about to have you crash the fuck out. And I'm trying to convince this nigga not to jump off the bridge because I don't want to be putting you niggas back together and fixing you. But you got to see it through. You got to, Anton, but I love her. Oh my God. No. Nigga, you used to be a killer. Nigga, we converted your life. Nigga, you just got out of prison and you changed your life. You started a business, you making a bunch of money, and now you crying to me about a chick that you laying next to. Nigga, what happened? What is going on? What are we doing? I just say it. I say, fam, listen. I think we come to the end of the road. I tell them, for real. And let me tell you why I don't want them as a client going past that point. Because I am so invested in your success. And once you start to become successful, you now become a reflection of me. And I don't want you to say that Anton incentivized you to go and do the thing that's the worst thing for your life. And so at that point, I got to cut you loose. I got to let you go. You got to go ahead and fly and crash out on your own. I got to let you go. One guy I ran into, he rejoined the Patreon a year later after he made a decision. And he came in and he looked like somebody had stole that nigga's soul. Bro, And on everything that sent me, he looked like somebody had stole his soul. He looked like Jonathan Majors at trial. He looked like Jonathan Majors at trial. I said, what's up, man? What's going on? He thought I was going to feel sympathy for him. I said, you did that dumb shit, didn't you? He said, yeah. He said, but I'm back, though. I'm back, though, Anton. I learned. You going to learn, nigga. You going to learn one way or another, the easy way or the hard way. You choose. You choose. God don't allow you to skip steps when it comes to success because he don't want you out there crashing out. He not going to give you more than you can handle because he knows that if you get to a certain level and he gave you more than you can handle, it's going to be lights out for you. Ain't going to be no coming back from it because there's certain things that you can't come back from. And so I'm telling you, the longer that you spend with women that you're not supposed to be with, it's going to be much more difficult for you to let her go. Because now you emotionally connected to her. And us men, we love harder than women. Contrary to popular belief, men love harder than women. They love harder than women. It's hard for us to let go. The very thing that we love and we poured into and we wanted to make sure that you was protected. That's why it's so hard for men. When you try to get a man that's already been through it, and he understands it, but he's still a good person, and we didn't let the world take our soul and drag us down, but we still got a good heart, and you keep trying to figure out why that nigga won't marry you, it's because it's hard, and we protecting ourselves. I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. I'm passionate. I am incredibly passionate about anything that I get into, and so I'm very, very careful about who it is that I let into my life. Because I don't want to be hurt. I don't want you to hurt me. I got to vet you. I got to vet you to death. I got to know that you here for the right reasons. And when I say I got to know, I got to know. I ain't trying to take no chances. I ain't got time for that. I got a daughter that I got to make sure that she get through college, right? I got people that work for me. I got to know. I have to know that you are here for the right reasons. And so when you get a guy that then suffered through it but was able to make it to it and still is great, and then you looking at him and trying to understand, man, that's a great man. How come he won't marry me? Why won't he even let me spend a night at his house? It ain't because you a bad person. It's because he's very, very careful and he's vetting effectively because he don't want the same thing that happened to his younger self, to happen to him again. And so he's very careful. And it's difficult for me to tell you dumbass 28, 33, 34, 35, 36-year-old niggas. You 24, 25-year-old dudes that got Similac on your breath, is still wet behind the ears. She gave you a little bit of box and now you ready to crash the fuck out. Man, I'm telling you, bro, I'm trying to teach you something. Unlearn that bullshit that they taught you in that feminist school that you came from. Unlearn everything that your mama taught you. She can only take you so far. She can only take you so far. It's my turn now. You need a daddy in your life. I'm right here.